It's been quite a while since I made a video. Should I apologize for that? Yeah, I guess. Sorry about that. I think I've been really busy doing other stuff at work, and we're really close to releasing the game and stuff, so things have been busy. But yeah, so I figured I'd just come home and record something real quick. This is something I already started a while back. So I'm just going to paint and talk. Maybe something will come up. Although there is something that I've been wanting to talk about. And it's not going to be all happy, giddy. But there's something on my mind that's kind of been annoying me. And you'll probably be able to relate to this. And it's that in life, no matter who you are, where you're from, no matter what you're doing, you have probably encountered people that are naysayers. The Dreamkillers, the people who kind of like, if you have a great idea or something, or if you're going somewhere, or in terms of like in life and you're succeeding, these types of people tend to find ways to bring you down or belittle your idea. And I just and I get it. I used to be like that in the way, like you know, people when they, let's say, for example, you're like, oh, I have this plan to make $1 million, and like, you know, let's say it's viable and it's actually legit, but you might tell somebody who's inadequate or unable to think or perceive on that level, or they are immediately comparing themselves to your plan, your ideal, you know, or your ideas or your situation, and so they might say like, yeah, that's a good idea, but I don't think it'll work. You got to be realistic. And you know, even if your plan would have worked or whatever, just hearing that will kind of sort of kill your motivation. So same thing with art, same thing with games, or any idea that you might have, or just like, yeah, I mean, sometimes if I show a piece of art and it's like not done, and I'll hear somebody's opinion on it or something, I tend to, even if it's a good opinion, but I guess in this situation, like if it's like a negative opinion, like, oh, well, how come you're not doing this, or how come it's not finished, then I just lose all interest in finishing it or whatever, because you've attached negative emotions or negative vibes to the creation. And so naysayers, you have to get them out of your life. Well, not out of your life, because sometimes they're very close to you. You know, they could be loved ones, family members, parents. But you have to learn how to have selective hearing, and learn how to not take anything personally. So how do you deal with this? How do you, you know, because if you're watching this, if you're watching my videos, if you're subscribed to this channel, you probably are interested in art, or concept art, or painting, or drawing, just, you know, the creative world in general. But there are a lot of people out there that don't think that it's a viable means of sustaining your lifestyle. But if you're here, that means you're going to probably encounter a lot of these naysayers, these dream killers, these people who just don't get it. You know, you're functioning on a totally different frequency, and the moment you let somebody destroy that for you, you know, you kind of sabotage your chances. And so, yeah, how do you deal with it? I've found that you can't just, like, you know, ditch these people, right? Because actually some of them I actually really like as people, but they're just not thinking the same way I am. So I actually had to write a list, or I typed it out on my phone, of these people, and I was like hesitant. I'm like, I don't want to put this person on the list because I like this person, but I had to be truly honest with myself. Like, as much as I like these people, I had to write down, like, this person is not conducive to a creative environment. I wouldn't ever hire this person or work with this person, or, you know, you see what I'm saying? So, like, you have to be smart in how you deal with the people around you, because if you're around 5 people who are billionaires, you'll eventually become a millionaire, and eventually a billionaire. If you're around 5 people who are physically fit, same thing, you'll eventually become physically fit. If you're around 5 people who are negative, you're going to be negative. And so it works the opposite. If you're around 5 people who are positive and they have a great outlook on possibilities and life, they're, that is very contagious. And so that's one thing I had to learn, in this kind of industry, because we do different things. We don't go to work 9 to 5 and pray for the weekend every time. We get to enjoy our life, our work, because, dude, I'm drawing and painting awesome stuff, and it's my job. Like, is that real? Like, that, okay, cool. But other people who don't get to do that might say, well, you're lazy, you're not doing real work. Sorry, what? You have no right to say that, because I'm not going to live my life according to what your worldview is, even though your worldview is based on making yourself feel better by putting other people down. And so, yeah, I hope I didn't throw you off, because I'm usually doing tutorials. I'm like, hey guys, let's learn how to draw faces. But right now it's just like I don't have time to set up a tutorial like that or anything. So yeah, just wanted to get that off my mind. And there you go. Hopefully, I assume you probably know exactly what I'm talking about, so I don't even have to explain all of that in depth. But yeah, just write a list of those people who you need to be careful around. And it's kind of sad at first, because I'm like, these people, I have to just shut up when I'm around them about what I want to do in life. And like, that allows you to open up a space of possibilities to actually be ambitious. If let's say you're overweight and like you have this plan to lose weight, but the people around you they don't believe in you, and so because of that, you won't believe in yourself. But if you just keep it to yourself, or you entrust that with, is entrust a word? If you trust that with, wait, that still doesn't sound right. Entrust? I'm going to look it up. Yes, it is a word. Okay, so, yeah, if you entrust that kind of mindset or motivation or plan with people that will support you no matter what, I make it a point to, like, even if I don't fully agree with somebody or believe in their plan, I still find some way to just let them do it anyway, because they end up changing it and making something amazing in the process. So it's like, just be encouraging. Besides, if you're like that, and you have a positive outlook and a positive mentality, people want to keep you around. And so if you're working at a studio, and you're like that, that's a good thing. But that's not to say to just say yes to everything. But and if you do have criticism, learn to offer it in a smart way. So establish what's working about the idea, what's working about the project, and then follow up with saying, but here are things that need work, or something. Don't be like, no, this is dumb. No, this isn't going to work. It's like, those people, even if they're right, nobody wants to listen to them because they're annoying. It's annoying to listen to somebody who's being condescending. They have very little sway in how you feel positively. And so, adios, man. Yeah. Guess I just am venting because I was around some people recently who were like this. And being far away from back home meaning Ohio, now I'm not there anymore, I forgot that there's people like that, It's been a pleasure being around other creative people who get it, who understand this, but, yeah, so develop a good mindset for that. Yeah, so back to the weight loss thing. If you're around people who don't believe in you, you won't believe in yourself. So establish these goals, write them down, and hide it. And even if you're succeeding in them, don't tell anyone. Like, I found that if I tell somebody, like let's say I started running every day or something, and it's actually working, because obviously it works. If you're running, you're going to get in shape and stuff. But like once I tell somebody, yeah, I'm running every day and it's working, suddenly I stop doing it. I don't know why. Well, I guess it's because what's it called? Get that like satisfaction or feedback or whatever, or reward when somebody says, "Oh, cool, man, that's really cool." But the reality is, you shouldn't like get approval for something like that from somebody. Like, it doesn't matter what people think. It's all about your results and what you want. Yeah, right on. What else is new? So I'm seeing a lot of questions on the YouTubes in the comment section, and a couple on DeviantArt. A lot of questions about specific tutorials and I will eventually cover a lot of those things, but just not right now. I don't have a iTunes podcast. That someone asked me that. Actually, I took some screenshots of some questions. 1 second. All right, I'll just pull these out one at a time. Hey Ahmed, I know you're busy, but in some of your free time, can you make a video to show about light position on the figures? All right, yes, I will eventually. 14 drawing. Oh, this question was interesting. So let me just read it out loud. Hi Ahmed, I'm 14 and really love drawing, but my parents really disapprove of me pursuing art as a career. I've seen another video of yours that said that you don't need permission to do what you love. True, but I don't want to be a sad hobo artist. Well, if you're good, you won't be. And I've seen talented artists like you on Patreon that hardly earn anything because they haven't gathered popularity on social medias like Sakimi-chan did. I'll get to that in a second. I've realized art is somewhat like a competitive business these days. What most popular artists tend to draw are things that attract consumers: anime styles, big boobs, NSFW, nude, etc. I live in Australia and there isn't a big industry game design here, so I have to move to America like my sister did. My parents want me, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, this is a very common thing, especially in my culture, being Middle Eastern. Everyone expects you to be a doctor or a lawyer or an architect. Even though nowadays you can make way more money being a creative person, like understanding business and marketing and stuff. So let's talk about Sakimi-chan for a second. She's great. She knows what she's doing. She developed a following a long time ago, and she capitalized on it. And some people like to point out that it's not fair because she's doing fan art and making money off of it. Dude, like, do what works and power scale it up. Like, and don't judge other people for doing that. Like, she has a formula and it's working. So, yeah, you're exactly right when you said, what's it called? That she developed a following early on, and you can do that too. And it's not that. I mean, there's some sure-shot ways of getting a following by doing fan art, by communicating with the fans, this and that. And that's all business. It's all marketing. Read a couple marketing books, and they'll talk about that. But another thing that works, too, is if you just actually be true to yourself of what you want to do. I've learned the hard way that you can easily lose your passion if all you're trying to do is get likes and followers and stuff. Like what Sakimi-chan did, she just likes doing fan art. She likes doing anime stuff and realistic and painting and gender bends and all that, and it's totally fine because she likes doing that. She wasn't trying to copy somebody else, and you could spend your time trying to copy that formula by doing fan art, real semi-realistic anime, whatever, and then NSFW, but then you're just living in the shadows of somebody else who already did it. So, I mean, I've been there. I get it. I was like, I want to do that too, but then I realized it's like stifling what I actually enjoy. And if I could just find something that I enjoy doing, which I'm still in the process of doing that, I'm in the in-between. You just have to find something that's true to your preference, and you kind of have to take the audience out of the equation, and when you do that, you can become a successful artists in terms of marketing, I think, at least. And if not, then it's like that. Maybe that's not your path in life, and you have to accept that, because not everybody. I mean, everybody has the opportunity to become a great artist, but certain conditions, like I don't know what I'm trying to say. But basically, if you want to pursue art, let's see, you're 14. I say keep going. You know, even if your parents don't approve of it, you can show them like what the possibilities are. You know, there are tons of concept art websites that are talking about like art and how it's necessary in video games. And by the way, video games generate a lot of revenue, especially if you have a team and you make a game. Like there's companies out, well, like 5-team developers, you know, they make a game and they're grossing like what, $300,000 a day, and that, like, tell that to somebody who wants to be a doctor, you know. But of course, like, you also have to be smart. So nobody's going to come and hand it to you on a silver platter, you know. Even Sakimi-chan does a lot of work. So yeah, I think all right, so, and then he mentioned a lot of talented artists like you on Patreon that hardly earn anything. So I haven't really made an effort to really monetize my art yet, because like you said, I haven't built a following, and well, I'm juggling so many different things. It'll be different if I actually have nothing else to do, but I do have a job, and that is, you know, I'm there for like 9 to 10 hours a day by choice. I could just stay there for 8, but, you know, it's really fun. So, you know, I'll eventually start doing that stuff, but right now I don't think I have the time. Plus, like, I'm learning a lot. You know, I'm picking up a lot of how-tos and then do's and don'ts of industry and game design and art. So, you know, once I have gathered enough knowledge, then I'll go full on, like, what's up, internet? I'm me, you know? So yeah, I mean, even like right now, this YouTube stuff, it's just to kind of connect with people, like, on a small scale, so that I actually have time to answer people. Anyway, let's go to the next question. Thank you for this great tutorial. Can you please make a shortcuts tutorial? Shortcuts! Yes, I will do that. There's a common question I keep getting, by the way, and it's, what program are you using? I mean, I assumed everybody knew that this is Photoshop, right? That's an assumption that I've made, and I'm wrong, so I have to start writing in the description saying that I'm using Photoshop. I mean, what else would you use? I mean, Painter is awful. Oh no, it's not awful. It's just not good for me. I know Ryan Church uses it. A couple other people use it. So, yeah. Let's compare this with what it looked like. So let's start. Man, I always like the initial sketch way better. I think what I'll do is save this out as whatever. Never mind. I'll just keep going. So yeah, shortcuts tutorial. Mick Chaos videos. I have a question. How do you go about backgrounds? Whenever I draw a character, I usually put it on a white background. Then when I go to make an actual background, the color shows up through the skin and stuff. Alright, so I'm going to skip the tutorial type questions because I should make those as specific videos. Ahmed, you were talent for teaching. Keep the video interesting. Why not go the Gumroad route? So yeah, I will go the Gumroad route, but I actually have a plan for making a specific tutorial series. I'll probably start off with character design for video games, since that's what I'm doing right now. And I have it all written out, like what I will break it down. It's on my board, but it's way over there. So, yeah, that, you know, expect that sometime soon. Not soon. Well, yeah, I guess soon if you're counting in the next few months, because I do like teaching. I do like making things obvious and straightforward and easy to understand, while those other people like to make things confusing, and I don't know why. It's like, well, yeah, I have all this knowledge, but I'm going to make it really hard for people to get it. Why? Why would you do that? Like, make it simple. Ay, ay, ay. So, alright, what else we got here? Alright, so here's an interesting one. Chaos videos. I have a question. When applying for something like this, I assume you're talking about concept art, do they care more about the content in the photo that you create, the landscape, armor, weapons, etc., or the actual way it looks? I feel I'm very good at creating original designs and content, but I feel the actual way I draw is, or color is a bit unprofessional, lackluster. Mainly I suck at coloring, but I can whip out characters and creatures in no time, so long as it's just black and white. Will this have an effect later that will make it harder for me to get into a job? Alright, so let's say you have a bunch of good ideas and you are, you can communicate your ideas and design them, etc., but you might lack in coloring skills. If you develop your own voice and your own way of communicating ideas, you don't always need colored or fancy brushwork, because there's a lot of people that can do that stuff and not communicate good ideas. So if you have good ideas, that's what's important. So I'd say still practice and work on your color, but I would hold on to the fact that you are an idea generator. You can come up with concepts and offer ideas to a team, and how come up with solutions of how to build things, or story design. It's good to have that. So it's not always about the way it looks, because if you look at the original concept art for Star Wars, for the costumes, look at this. It's not that great, right? I don't think that's the original, is it? Maybe, but basically they all looked like this, and it's not fancy, it's not rendered, it's not painted. It sells the idea. It's like, okay, he's wearing this there, he has this kind of strap on, blah, blah, blah. I didn't mean to say strap on, but he has this strap, comma, on, or space. It's not a... Alright, okay, so it communicates the idea, and so remember that. The strength is in the concept, not the delivery, or the rendering, or the line work, or the brushes, or the filters, or the lens flare. That stuff doesn't matter. And you might say, well, when people do that and they put it online, it stands out. Well, yeah, but I don't know. It's like when you're working in an actual studio, that's not the stuff that's important. I can attest to that. Yeah. Ideas. Let's see what else. Andre1 Cruz says, "Hi, I'm in my senior year in high school and I'm 17, and I'm seriously confused as to what I should do with my life. I'm really interested in concept art or illustration, not sure yet, and I want to learn about it and get into it and do what I love for a living. I have no idea where I have no idea where I should start my professional life. Like, should I choose a design course in college or any other course? Should I even go to college?" And Nick Starr says, "I'm literally in the exact same situation as you. Haha." So I guess I talked about this earlier, but I'll speak more on the matter. It's should you go to college? The fact that I'm hesitating should tell you something. Well, thing is, there are a lot of really good, successful artists that I know who didn't go to school, and if they did go to school, they didn't really need it. They didn't need that much instruction, and so it really depends on who you are. If you're somebody who can learn on their own and come up with their own design and portfolio, and then prove that you can offer some kind of value to the market, then yeah, you could end up working in that kind of industry. So it's a tough one to answer, because I went to several colleges, and two of them being art schools, and I'll only I guess I went to... Alright, I'm not going to get into the details, but I already did that in a different video. So yeah, let's see. if you have the opportunity and the funds to go to art school, fine, go for it. But if not, you don't have to. I think I also mentioned previously that I'm mostly self-taught in terms of like painting and drawing. I learned how to design and think like a designer and a professional. There's classes on professionalism, presentation, all that stuff. You get that by being around experienced professionals, but at the same time, you can still get by without that. Especially nowadays with the internet, with different sources, YouTube, like this right now. I mean, you're watching me paint. I didn't have this when I was learning how to paint. I had to teach myself, I literally stared at paintings and tried to figure it out. Like, how did Craig Mullins do that? Which, by the way, I'm going to see Craig Mullins in a couple days up at the Denver conference. Well, not conference, the Schoolism workshop. He's going to be running the Sunday one. How cool is that? All right. And so, yeah, that's going to be cool. Yeah, and if you have the opportunity to take just a couple classes, like in California, in Pasadena, Concept Design Academy, they have great classes, and they're introductory to concept art, introduction to character design. I think that must be a class there. And they're very useful, so you can do that too. Yeah. I'm probably going to cut this short. Not short, but stop very soon because I do have to go to bed. Big day tomorrow. Big day tomorrow, releasing Guild Wars 2 Heart of Thorns. Hope you guys play it. That'd be pretty cool. It's a fun game. If you like MMOs, of course. If you don't, then it might not be your thing. Sorry, I'm just like in the drawing zone now. But yeah, I will get back to all these other questions as well. Again, thanks for all the questions and comments. I wish I could like sit there and respond to them all, but then that becomes a full-time job. I just don't have the time. That's a very common theme, and remember this: if you become an artist and you do this professionally, you're going to be taking on a lot of little projects, little personal projects, and you just won't have time for a lot of other things. So remember this. Remember Simba. Alright, cool. So we got this mech. Yeah. Alright, anyway, so that's my video for today. Hopefully it wasn't too negative with the whole Naysayers thing. And yeah, stick around for some more. I will see y'all laters.